Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Mercenary. Mercenary chosen. That'll work. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a cross, but for you, it's not only a crossroad.
Let me introduce myself.
Seems more like...
But...
in your nature.
natural.
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Ching! The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Right in the face. Flash the slash. Someone will pay dearly for that. Small things for your big ideas. Sharp steel. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. Hey there, Crusher. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Person. Don't let go. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. There you go. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Slice and dice. Close encounter. Shot through. Goodbye. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Loma utulu ba yowo.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Momomboso? Papa mofobak.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Iboda kelmok.
He doesn't.
Mayani. Udenu kun nunyofobo.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Iboda kelmok.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Loa tolu tum. Koyevun. Tuvun bonun.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Loa tolu tum. Oloi bo bopaweg.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma.
Iatu yao mawa. Olowoya lo yalo batoloyo.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Loma toaha. Weta gono. Balu putulua.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Yowotulua.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Tolu keta. Ya wawanawe. Weta gono.
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other.
Setuata pop kila.
Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, sir. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy. The Nono prefer... The Nono's key... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. You have... Oh, it'll need a... One day, the land... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking...
Ugambun ang ugagad yebromo
He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone.
Said tuatan pop kila. Kuchai. Hifar befarbe.
He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in...
Mauya.
The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that the...
Kotuvon ko kumlun kono. Ugambun.
The genetic evolution that occurred after... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Come weepa ayamu aya.
Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route.
Tolomawanya.
The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own.
Ayamu aya. Kotuvon ko kumlun kono.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die.
Tolomawanya. Tolua lu toluka.
His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Midget, and the Goo Glide are almost ready to ride.
Pilfov ugvuhu vobra boom.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
To wovu.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically... Let's see. be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Hilse surfala. Tolen og su.
He worries there won't be Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your act.
That's a spark of light!
What's there to light?
Not as much as it...
Always make...
And you're...
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important.
Pa, wherefore, where, ayamuaya.
Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe.
Pa, wherefore, where?
The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor.
Weta gono, yamuluvan.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction, to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out-of-Date says he believes the tribe Sifu's Myriad. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Chop it up! You should be able to use that. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. The Sifu is mindful of his time.
Sibi? La fanen a ginkan man. Geratna falo hutut mus. Tugai la wute.
He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and but he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing... He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is... There's something about your... The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make an... The Sifu says it's... Myriad one... If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the world. He was... The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds. Tells you not to be afraid. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. Seeing you... Anyway, the memories you make with your family... Shopkeeper claims you won't be able to find better goods anywhere. Peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares. Peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares. Remembers you as a quiet, has plenty to do, so... As long as you're happy about it. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. You're fading. Hey, nice shot. You're feeling mighty low. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it... He asks how you are today. Goops. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Wait. But you need practice. Lots of practice. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You should know, practice makes perfect. You have... She'll see you at the village square. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says he can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That...
Hugo, don't that.
You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon.
Trip, wolf wop. Hugo, don't that. Feel shit for it. Your body.
He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it any time soon. He thinks mastering the 6 weapons. He's looking forward. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Antoro.
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away.
Urasa durut.
Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future.
Dropalu.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone.
Taifanamenuma. Anora kapapum.
That's all she's ever asked.
Taifanamenuma. Dropalu.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her.
Andro?
She wants you to understand that whatever path you choose in life, you must stay true to yourself. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He's not scared of anything, least of all you. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. You'll have to face pain.
Monibasa.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Volakamunum rutna.
She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment as Sifu, and when she needs them, they're there for her and each other.
Anaro lote.
The most important thing is that you're...
Asana yotutupu.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Sana yote. Domale tuku.
You won't need excuses if you... Here's someone close to heart? Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He heard you helped Gizmo clean up. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He suggests...
Como uno shala
He's curious to see what you've found.
consider in yasem silogo partinea falish.
He can work wonders with pretty much anything.
Tomosakula ima dana untisav. Bestilka. Tomosakula ima bela.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Jak intanka kudo.
He knows she's already proud of you and everything you've...
Ever sinnet.
You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Daremaya.
He thinks you should. She'll...
Waxandonia ina machamala.
He...
Domale tuku.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Brumblene marsamawunundun.
Hopes you're as ready.
Kent sib, inga valdod.
She says she is eager to get...
Ritsentede, ruhemuch tono.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Inadabsunka.
Wants you to prove that.
Kalino?
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Anson bara.
Thanks you for being such a good...
Brumblene marsamawunundun. Inadabsunka.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Anson bara. Asana yotutupu.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Anson bara.
That's why you should be sure to thank him for it. Catchy.
Brumblene marsamawunundun.
Your Mooma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Asil natu.
Figuring that out is half the fun.
Do male tuk. Andro?
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Puri kumbala muma.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Do male tuk.
Says it's not a record keeper, more like a companion.
Gendrana mala.
Everything ends, both. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupin from setting the... Your Mooma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Kodotuku.
Your Mooma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming.
Gendrana mala.
He wants to destroy her. The time to fight is coming, whether she's ready for it or not.
Pial tu mag.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her.
Pial tu mag. Anson bara.
She had a life before you were born, you know. Darker and less fun. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Mooma says you can make it if you believe in it. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, as the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. You lack key energy for that. Middle-lifed. Slash and dash.
Ano po paano Jackie ki tulo tremutolia? Yolekinea me kumakul.
A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there.
Piapo, nebekul.
You should hurry there and help them best the outpost.
Piapo, nebekul.
Not really. It's west of Bricktown. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Look, an emergency box from the old days when you... Wow, bet that knuck makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? So much damage. Hot metal. Swoop. You always find good use for things like that. You're in pain. How far underground do you think you are? That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Toxanol never cared about it. There must be a track. What a wonderful day! A flush stool from the back in time. It's an apparatus that sunk. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. There are places up ahead far worse than this. Carving it up. We are lonesome animals that spend all our life trying to be less lonesome. Would you look at that? A fry sparker from the back in time. Hardware that looks like the fry sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working. Just a few moves left. Make them count. It's not the fry sparker that's the problem, it's what's put into it. You get the knobs in sync to make the hardware work. It's not the fry sparker that's the problem, it's what's put into it. Get the knobs in sync to make the hardware work. It's a fry sparker mindset. Boom, you got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away. That's hard to come by. Control your destiny, or someone else will. found the track. Amazing it wasn't. So much of this place was just discarded. Luck when toxin the tracks. Any sun is way better than none. Never thought I'd see a clothes soaker from the long gone again. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That's spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That spiraled out of control. You need to turn the pegs in sync. That spiraled out of control.